Dear Venerable Sisters and Dhamma friends, today we are going to have again another session of common interviews. We will start with the written questions with the coordination for any other questions to present to the discussion. You may just please present what is written.
Venerable Bhante, in sitting meditation, in and out breathing, I had experience on long, short, in-out breathing, cold and warm, in-out breathing. I had also experienced inhalation and exhalation happening in one nostril at a time. Sometimes I felt pain at the nostril. Once I felt in-breathing happening stepwise. This time I feel in-breathing happens at one nostril and out-breathing at other one. This was observed for few minutes. However, in general, I can only concentrate on primary object for few minutes. All other time, I mindfully knew that I am with past memories or with some other thoughts. Whatever it is, mind is calm. I several times went to sleeping mind condition, but not slept. I don't understand whether it is improving mind or not. Further, mostly in sitting meditation, mind on in-out breathing. I feel stiffness on nose or less at the middle of my forehead. Thinking it as a feeling as patavi and continuous observation of it, realize the stiffness occurred around the head as a band and prominent on forehead. This has happened several times. Meanwhile, I feel heat on my back. I felt same in walking meditation also, but not frequent as sitting meditation. In walking meditation, mind is wandering on other thoughts, but knowing right and left foot. I understand raising of one foot and put down of other foot happens simultaneously. To raise one foot fully, grip of other should be strong to maintain balance. Bhante, could you please tell me if I am correct and is it improving my mind?
Whether it is mind is focused on the one single primary object or a mixture of thinking, pain and sounds, whatever, even if the mind is undisturbed, if the mind is unshaken, that means it is trying its best to make not to any worries, nor any frustration, try to cope up with as it happens, whether it's a single fold or multifaceted. Maybe at the beginning you start with the single fold, one single object, but even then you may find within one object lot of facets are there. In addition to that thinking, completely different object, thoughts, sounds may happen. They also have multifacets, so whatever it comes, if it is disturbing you, worrying you, or making a tension, or any frustration, that means mind become weaker and weaker. But in the midst of all the kind of thing, if you can maintain the integrity, unshaken mind, later you may find again the mind can go to the single fold object, and there also it is calm and quiet. Whether there are any secondary or any other disturbing objects, according to other times or in the conventional way, now you find no disturbance. This is the way the mind become more mature, unshaken, and spiritual backbone. So this appear, it is in the gathering momentum to not to worry about whatever the facet is arising, and when and where single fold object happens, it's very conducive and more towards one-pointedness and samatha or samadhi. At other times, even there is no samatha, no samadhi, no concentration, but the mind is peaceful, mind is calm and quiet, ready to accept, nothing denied, nothing expected. That is what we can say maturing, progress, or appear to be good.
Most Venerable Bhante, I'm writing this as a report of this 2 weeks retreat. I was doing Anapanasati meditation. During the first 2-3 days, I had to struggle with thoughts. Although I tried to be in present moment, next moment I was among thoughts. But I tried as much as possible to be mindful. One moment in primary object, another moment among thoughts. Once in a while, I could pay my attention to in-breath and out-breath. However, after a week, I could go through in-breath and out-breath several times. Gradually, breath disappeared, and I was in no sleep, no pain, no sense state. After a while, came out from that condition. According to your instructions, I didn't react, just observe the situation. Once, after the sitting meditation, I went to lie down as my feet not on the floor, but I was not on the bed. I was floating as lying posture. Several minutes later, I got into bed. I didn't react, just observed. For a while, couldn't remember what happened. I was asleep. Most of the time, just as I started sitting meditation, I feel the vibration only. After a while, it went smooth and disappeared. Breath also not there, but I could stay just observing, no sense, no feelings, thoughts floating without any notice. Always remembering your instructions, try not to react. During walking meditation, always feel the hardness, sweating, etc., but without noting, I could do walking mindfully. Sometimes when walking, mind goes away, thoughts coming from around the world. Then I stop walking and sit down for a while. This is the way I meditate these days, Bhante. Is there any instructions for me? I appreciate and thank you very much. Much merits.
So, the early part that the sitting meditation, we take the waves, in-breath and out-breath as the thing to start with. But ultimately you reduce to the ocean. Ocean means the vibrations. From the vibration only the breath happens. From that, as far as the breath is there, the beginning, the middle, and the end is there. But as far as the vibrations are there, no beginning, no middle, no end, no waves. But it is the most primordial form. But even if you are in a wave-like, even if your mind happy with the wave-like collapse situation, it is only you can see at the seashore. When you go to the deep, and when you are looking at the horizon, no waves. They are the sea, you can see. So it is the vibration. So whenever you see the breath, still the vibration is behind there. But our mind is not much focused. You can see 3D scenery. That's why our mind gets attracted into this in-breath and out-breath. But when the meditation becomes deeper and deeper, you see the vibration, and it is not limited to sitting posture. Wherever you may be, whether you are walking or sitting or lying down, wherever may be, that is the sign to indicate you are not dead. That is a sign to indicate you are not unconscious. This is a sign to indicate you are not sleeping. So this vibration, do not know whether it is working in a female body or male body. Don't care whether you are ordained or non-ordained. It does not go, it does not care the time dimension, it never matures. The moment you understand this vibration, and you can live 100 years and see whether there is any aging in this vibration, never. You can go from this polar to the northern poles to the southern pole, and you see vibration never change. But it is boring. It is monotonous. It crossed me my mind when I was in Nilambe. All of a sudden, a thought came, what is the first day I tasted pure salt? Keeping a grain of salt on your tongue. And if the taste become aging as I am aging, with the salt, taste of the salt is the sort of the taste of the salt ever. Do you think that it has any sense for the male and female? Do you think the taste of the salt is changing from geographical changes? No. So Buddha says, the sea has the taste of the soul, Dhamma has the taste of liberation. So the moment you understand everything is nothing but the vibration, you are enlightened. It never subjected to the age. It never subjected to the geographical locations. But we feel boring. We wish to see waves, like in breath and out breath, left and the right, and male and female, all the rhythmic patterns. But you have to understand all rhythms are coming from just mere energies, just mere vibrations. That vibration is, even you hate it, before your birth it was there. Even after your death it is there. Whether you recognize it or not. So when you are going to live and be friendly, acquainted with, seasoned with vibration, wherever you go, there you are. But the thing is very boring, so you come to the Nissarana for 14 days retreats to enlighten. Nonsense. Nonsense. Of course, to be familiarized with, of course, to be frequented with, you must have kind of strategy, kind of localities, kind of postures, kind of objects. But whatever boil down, it is boiled down to the same. So therefore, later you may understand it is independent of your posture, independent of your primary object, and independent of what you knowledge, independent of your experience in meditation, so-called. But this is already endowment for each and every human being, but no one give any value unless otherwise you had enough of this samsara. Samsara is finding something out of this vibration. A thing. You never say enough. Whenever you say enough, it will go back and boil down to this vibration. And you may understand that vibration, once you understood, it's a very familiar thing, but the thing is little bit of hatred. Because it is monotonous. Because it is boring. And ultimately you find, after meditating of so much authorities, is this the what I am going to realize? Disheartening. Disheartening. And after the full enlightenment, is the one the Buddha going to end up with? That's why one day in the late night, a god or a celestial being came to the Buddha and asked, Nandasi Samana, or recluse, are you happy? Then Buddha asked, for what gain? Sochati Samana, are you disappointed, happy? For what lost? That means you have no gain, no happiness, no unhappiness. That little explain who am I. So is this the one you are registered for as IYR? No, if it is so, your family, friends and everyone will laugh at you. But the moment they understand it, this is the release for the pressure. This is the release for the frustration. This is release for the tension, neurosis. And you see the universality of the whether you enlighten or not, it is there. Enlightenment is, you understand, this is the most important, precious thing, not what you have gathered so far. They have their relative importance, they have their conventional values. But with respect to this, the vibration, how we are going to change our perspective. Shifting of the paradigm. Understanding the reality. So the Buddha says, what are the things the Puthujjana claim it is, enlightened says nothing. Whatever the enlightened recognize as consider precious, Puthujjana says nothing. This is a tupsi-toe freedom. And she said, so is it the one ultimately we are going to realize this vibration? So that is available in the rock. It's available in the trees. It's available in the air. It's available in the earth element. But we need something juicy, something sappy, something I can claim, something I can put a party, telling that I enlighten, that he is not. And something to hold, possess. So, one day when Banyananda used to say that, I envy the trees. Because they live long, but they develop progeny and grow, they don't have any illusion, don't have any desire, don't have any hatred. So what enlightenment? What an enlightenment you find in the trees. So this vibration is irrespective whether a living being or non-living. Irrespective of the male and female. Irrespective whether you are meditated or not. Whether you have so much of colossal understanding about Tripitaka or not. So the thing is, we are giving so much of value for all the nonsense. So we have no time to understand the vibration. So there's a different dimension. The vibration you can't, never you can erase it from you, even for a split second. Never. Only thing is that you don't know. This is the valuable thing. This is the what Buddha is directing us and pointing us, adverting us, telling that it is precious to be a human being. But what we give is, you have to be one monk in our very close. He told, I do my whole amount of merits and I wish to reborn in Japan next year. Because very difficult to get Japanese visa. So then onward everything is there. So all the merits are just to go to the Japan, finished. Well, they think that, and we have unlucky enough to Japanese people, they know what Japan is. And so if this is the case, what is the place for the Nibbana? What is the place for this unshakable truth, the vibration? But what took to freedom regarding the values? So you have to give the correct perspective, correct value, correct relationship among them. And when and where possible, let the mind to be in the most unpolluted source of energy, the vibration. Still it can be reduced to just mere energy. And then, moment you recognize with that, you are just yet another grain of sand in the sand bed. You are no one. Okay, we'll go to the next.
Venerable Sir, when I was brushing my teeth in front of the mirror this morning, my entire face started to get very distorted. It was a scary image. Even after a previous retreat, this happened. Not only my image, but people around me also got distorted and started to break up. This happened to the road I was crossing and many other things as well. This is very disorienting. Please, Bhante, explain why this happens. Much metta.
So you have to try and reorient your ego. That's it. That is what you need. Refix the refix and establish and consolidate your ego. Whenever meditation happens, the ego is being threatened, you feel nauseatic. You need so much of explanations. So why? Maybe something wrong with the mirror. So you have to change it. Or maybe something wrong with the face, it is already scary. Not the eyes. So that is why some people, after getting spectacles, they claim for divorce. Maybe. So these are the wise options to re-establish the ego, or to re-establish the conceit. to have kind of a desire out of this messy thing. So that is why the Buddha says, if you meditate, definitely it is resultful. But the thing is, you are not ready to accept it. You are always doing this and that in order to come back to your secure place. So, ego, conceit, desire. Not only here, anything happen new, anything happen unknown, it's a reason to be fearful. That is called fear of freedom. So that with such a mentality, with such a combination in our evolution, what a kind of effort, original effort, the Buddha to teach Dhamma to the other beings. So therefore, Buddha and Samma Sambuddha, huge difference. Buddha is an Arahant. Samma Sambuddha means not only he is Arahant, he has the capacity to give that to the other person. So it's an ethical part. So anything new happen, anything unknown happens, you develop allergic reactions. You become allergic. And you develop fear. And you ask so much of explanation, how can I restore my ego? So this, I don't know, I may be too much sarcastic if it is so, excuse me. And that is what the counselors are doing. Re-establish your ego and send back to you at home. So if a meditator goes, what will be the end advice of the psychiatric counselor? And if the counselor is psychotherapy without the self, what will be his reaction? Or what will be his advice? This is the joke. This is the joke in the world. So that's why I recommended, not the recommender, remembered that book, Psychotherapy Without the Self. So this is a cry. It's a cry to re-establish the ego. Anything you may pay to re-establish the ego, the conceit and the desire. Because now it's in blur. It's so scary. So it's allergic. So this is called that giving a gift is one thing, and accepting the gift is better, more than the giving the gift. So Dhamma is coming and ever tapping on the door. But we are not ready, we say not today, come tomorrow. Balagiriyage dini ada newe hetai kiyala gahana dore gahanawne. Me innet Balagiriya thamai. Then we have as a signboard, not today, come tomorrow. But still meditating 4 hours per day, 3 hours a day, what of thing. And whenever the truth comes, don't disturb me, come tomorrow. So these are the jokes for meditators. Otherwise, meditators will go crazy because it's very dry, very, without any bones, without any blood, without any sap, and it's just dry bones. So these kind of jokes keep the balance. So what else I can do? I can say. So this is a cry to re-establish the shaken ego. So go prepared. If you go prepared, completely different picture. If you go with the scary mind and the uncertain mind and fear of freedom and fear of now and it's called neurobia. It's fear for the new things. It is not only for the Nibbana. All the kind of things is there. That's why the conservativeness. Those who wish for the new thing is radical. So Buddha is asking, you must have a radical reflection, yoniso manasikara, otherwise meditation may be really progressing, but you will be still frustrated, telling something wrong somewhere. So for that, this is the only answer, that is to have interviews and put it into the correct perspective. But even then I would say, if you have any kammavarana, vipakavarana, there's a lot of blockages are there. if these blocks are there, you don't feel like putting into a correct perspective. You still hold into your likings and disliking, your stereotype ideas. You keep on meditating, but never exposed to the truth, never ready to accept in a radical way. But anyway, that is worthwhile, still worthwhile, because still the truth is coming and knocking on your door. No, if at all there is a world, you can say, broken into pieces. The Buddha says, world is nothing to, no value, it is just sunya, that is, there is no such a substantial value, it is made more valuable because of your ignorance. You make it a solidified, one unit, it is a scattered thing. You make it a hive, like a beehive, because of your permanent notion, because of your ignorance. If it is not unity and solidity, how can I have a soul unity? When it is scattered, your ego also becomes disoriented. So this is the way it is reciprocally helping each other. If you hold world as permanent, auspicious, unit, solid, that means you are so much of self-oriented, self-centered person. If you see the world is a joke, or it is trivial thing, nothing too much worry, and then you are ready to get renew for the next moment. So not with the stereotype mind. There is no with the blinkers, not with much of hard and fast, that I am truth, I am with the truth, the other person is wrong. No. So his worldview indicates how he holds into his own ego, conceit or desire.
Most Venerable Bhante, this morning soon after I sat down to meditate and the mind was calming down, the thought arose that if one does not let objects, feelings, situations, etc. enter and take root in the mind, then they cease to exist. Presently, I feel this is a forced process, like pressing the delete key, and is therefore a state of mind not sustained for long. Am I correct in assuming that for anything to truly stop existing, it should be through seeing the transient nature of the six Dhathu? My problem is that the attention keeps on shifting between the breath, vibrations in the head, and the humming sound. I realize this prevents seeing the true nature of the six Dhathu. I seek your advice on how such a mind could be trained to truly realize that nothing really exists, with much respect for your valuable opinion.
This is giving the report says there are a lot of experiences, but the thing is still the particular person knows that my mind is not ready to accept that nothing is existing. That knowledge has come, but it is still, it's a reason to be worried because I must see things as nothing, but still I am failed to do like that. So therefore now we are face to face with the problem. Earlier we wanted to have world is something, the fame, gain and everything something, or it is everything. Now, at least on a theoretical basis or book knowledge, it knows this is not something, it is trivial. But you understand still the mind is not ready to accept it. That indicates situation is not under control. Or you can say, day by day, things are happening not according to my agenda. Then whose agenda? Then am I a master or a slave? Theoretically I know there is nothing to not take seriously, things are trivial and it is transient, it is not substantial. But you can understand even though you wish, you foster, you appreciate this kind of idea, the habitual trend, your perpetuation, your momentum says, no, it is just for the sake of theory, but in reality it's not like internal conflict. And whenever you are going to take theoretical sense, you are contradicting with your past values and systems. Whenever you are going to take the cultural past values, you understand you can't accommodate what the Buddha is telling. So now we understand the problem is within, but still not under control. Still not happening as you wish. This is what you call non-governability. This is what you call, this is something not me. It's something belongs to someone else. It is called parato, not me. It's not worth calling myself, not worth calling me, mine, because it is not working according to my likings and dislikes. Even theoretically I accept it. So each and everyone is such a split mind. So these two are fighting each other throughout the right brain, right hemisphere of the brain and the left hemisphere of the brain. After that it says, usually left hemisphere is very arrogant, very logistic, very linear and don't give any consideration for other part. The right hemisphere is ready to accept the totality, very aesthetic, everything is one and one is everything. So it's ready to surrender. So therefore, under such circumstances, the rational mind is taking, just like a democratic country, you appoint the leader by the majority's vote. But the majorities are fools. Then what is the democratic leader? What represents the democratic leader? That's why Lao Tzu says, the monarch, that is the, and there should have a monarch or world-ruling leader. Each and every individual citizen do not know he is there. Without him, each and every individual can function themselves. This is the first and foremost kind of a governing capacity. And when it is deteriorating, the monarch is going to impose taxes and going to show, I am the person with the executive powers, you must understand me, and they are going to become an overburden. And after that only, the democracy comes. When the democracy happens, at the beginning it has a certain meaning, later, on behalf of democracy, again, unruly people are going to take the power and ultimately ruling. Then ultimately, people going to take power into their hand. When something happens, they kill each other. They never go to the law. So likewise, if you are going to do a democratic thing, you have to understand majority are wise. But the Buddha says, Dusiloi Bahujjano. Majority have no moral integrity. So if they appoint a government, do they expect such a moral leader to come? Never. So therefore, if you're going to give the right, might is right, don't think it is a fair. Don't think it is a social, natural justice. But the left brain is working, might is right. And we are very happy because it is boosting your ego. It is boosting that I am the person. And it interprets the likings and dislikes. The right brain says, if you are like so, be like that, I don't care. I am ready to adapt into anything. I accept totality. So it always dominated. Domineering, left brain is working. This is explained to think, the brain-wise, of course, it's a physical. That is new recent findings. But this is how it happened. That is why the Krishnamurti says, each and everyone is working with the split mind. And this fight is the one manifested externally as fight between Sinhalese and Tamils. That's why W.S. Karunaratha mentioned that war is within you. You never try to see this injustice or kind of aberration, but when the people get together, everyone's brains are split, then war is natural outcome. It's a manifestation in society at large. But morning to evening, internal conflict is there. But really understanding appear like a disappointment. Understanding appear like something wrong. Understanding appear like a irritation. So therefore you never proceed thinking there's something wrong. So therefore when and where the mindfulness sets in, irritation increases. Fault finding increases. Self-accusation increases. You become more and more pedantic. Everything must according to the rule. So therefore appear the early part of mindfulness itself is as an aberration. You feel restless. So therefore the rest of the world says, that is why I ask, don't meditate, because meditation leads to madness. Good. So a person who is going through, imagine what kind of a radical reflection such a person should have. So that is why we pay respect for that kind of people. They are ready to sacrifice their likings and disliking, personality, views, and even if it is irritating, there is no way, they proceed. Even if self-accusing, even fault-finding, they proceed. So for even the Buddha pay respect. But this is the most dramatic, most difficult part in the spiritual life, not the enlightenment. Enlightenment happens with the momentum. It is happening autopiloting. But this picking the pickup, taking the momentum to the plane to become airborne, the rocket to launch from the pad, burning so much of energy. But the lay life is again you calm down and bring back the plane again and again start taking up. And again ask how to put down the plane again. The early question is that. And again start taking up and then you're hodo the madida. Whenever it is going to take the momentum, you ask, how can Bhante, I can re-establish again the plane on the ground. But unlucky enough, you are at the end of the runway. So people have to put muddy places or sea at the end of the runway because accidental, because many people are, they feel nauseatic, they feel vomitish when the plane is taking up. That's why you have to tighten your belts. So these are very interesting. Interesting, of course, if you some or the other manage to go. Otherwise it's a real difficult task. You are going against the grain. That's why Buddha says it is patisotagami. You can't find any companion. You can't find any person having the parallel ideas because world considers this as a madness. Because the world is mad. I don't know whether I am giving any answer or just I am talking. Yes?
So the last question. Dear Bhante, yesterday it was discussed about mind directing to space, avakasha, and become void of rupa vedana sanya sankhara and free of defilements, which is a blissful state. Is it a higher state of dhyana? Will it lead to get rid of sakkaya ditthi, or will it lead to sankhara upekha? Thank you very much. With metta.
I think today's talk is fairly indicating. One is replacing others and going to the subtlety. So specifically, this akasa is not free of vedana sanya sankhara vijnana, it's free of rupa. That's it. But the vedana sanya sankhara is still there. They are immaterial. So therefore, as far as the materiality is concerned, you are free. But the others, under the carpet, still working. So therefore, one after the other, you replace gross thing but subtlety. And again, another subtle thing, subtlest thing going on. So wherever you are going to assume, this is the place I am, and if it is permanent, and if it is mine, it is me and my soul, that's what the Buddha says, it's a rogo, gando, sallo. It is a disease. It's an assumption or deception. And it's a trauma and it's a dart. They are transient nature. Of course, for the theoretical understanding, you must have a kind of a delimitation from the early knowledge to the others. This is never in practice. They are only theory. But to theory only we have kind of a model. And then we are going. So theory, please understand linear. But the mind is not linear. It is 3D. So therefore, whenever you are going to apply these linear principles into the 3D, it's very difficult matrix and statistics and matrix. Statistics is linear, but when you are applying it to the matrix, of course there's no other way, just like a flat screen and the 3D screen. So you have to have both to go there. So these stages are yes, theoretically yes, but in practice, very difficult to put this kind of a in and out margins or delimitation or paricheda jnana. One is changing to the other without leaving any chance to put a tag, put a label. That is called animitta samadhi. Whenever you can put a label, if you wish to put a label, it must exist at least 2 thought moments. The Buddha says, the phenomena is so transient, it is not persistent for 2 thought moments. As far as your mind is not refined, at the beginning you find breath, first breath, the second breath, third breath, for this as equal. But when you keep on doing, they are so changing. So ultimately it is also the animitta, appanita, sunyata. You can't, it is changing so quickly, you can't attribute any label, any shape, just like a cloud. Cloud is ever changing. So can you say it's a triangular shape or globe or kind of thing? You feel like, we feel different shapes, but they are quickly changing. So very difficult to comprehend because our mind is working with the permanent notion. So therefore this, the space is the lack of materiality. Negative side of the materiality, so shadows of the materiality, not the Vedana, Sanya, Sankara. It is only respect to the Rupa. Okay, that was the end of written questions. If one needs, please raise the hand so we can pass the mic.
Venerable Sir, this is with respect to vibration. I feel
you have to close little closer to the mic.
I feel vibrations very strongly. It happens in this kind of the same way. I have had it about 3 times. First, when I go to bed, I'm tired and I try to keep my mind on the breath, but it goes to the vibrations. First the body vibrates. After a while, I watch the vibrations, and then after a while, I lose sight of the body and I feel as if it's a slab of flesh vibrating. And then after a while, even the slab of flesh loses sight, and I only see the vibration. Then even the vibration loses sight, it only comes and goes, it doesn't go. The vibration gets finer and finer. The sad thing is at the end of it, I have depressing visions. I don't know how to. It takes the same format. It's only the second or the third time that I carefully watched and figured. First when I sit, my body vibrates, then it's the flesh, and then it's just the vibration, and then just the vibration. It doesn't go all the way. It comes and goes, comes and goes, comes and goes very fast. And at the end, it is this depressing vision. The vision is different every time.
What is the question then?
The question is why, what could I do with this, the visions being depressing and...
No, that you can understand, if I may, according to my way of analysis,
yes.
Whenever you are to understand that the vibrations have no in and out margin.
Right.
So you start with the body vibration, ultimately it disappears, ultimately you loses the delimitation. So it's a devastation. It's a devastation to your ego. It is always with the time and space. Now whenever the vibration happens, it has no limit. This is me and this is not me. That changes, merges each other. So you can't say this vibration is me. It's a cosmic energy. You merge into the cosmic energy or you become oceanic. Going into, but oceanic appear like a losing of your identity. Then it's a depression. But if your whole meditation is to get the oceanic feeling, and whenever you are to think this is the maximum I can do, this is the highest pleasurable moment, or maximum mindfulness, maximum comprehension, maximum rapture, maximum gladness, then instead of the depression, you will be dissolved of, your attention will be dissolved, but still you have a kind of a notion, I am existing, I am my body. When the body dissolves, I lost. It's a destruction. So then mind can project many depressions, many visions, many sounds, many smells, many taste and any kind of thing. So that means still it is not prepared, it is not ready to accept this vibration, because vibration do not understand in and out difference. It never understand the male and female. It never understand the time dimension. It never understand the space dimension. So our time-space mind, rational mind, is feel lost. Of course, it's lost. But that is the point where the end of the suffering. But that itself be a suffering if you are not in the correct perspective. So there is no way, there is no rational way to reinstall or introduce the Yoniso Manasikara. So you have to go through it again and again and again and again, and you have to understand two things. When and where it is reduced to vibration, no chances for defilements to arise by itself. And it is coming through your discipline. It's not an accident. So these two, Buddha says, end result appear like a suffering, but you have to calculate this is the highest of my mindfulness, this is the highest of my comprehension, this is the rapture from the Aryan's point of view, this is the gladness, this is the pleasure. But the rational mind says you finished, devastated, your ego lost this thing, your balloon bursted. So when we were in Nilambe, there was one mother who was uneducated, but whenever she sits, she can sit 6 hours without any problem. In the midst of the discussion, she sits and close eyes, and people admire, no movements. And if you give a glass of water, she will give the maximum appreciation, telling you must be Buddha, you must be Deva, because you are so kind to me. If you give a glass of porridge, she will start from the growing of the paddy and boiling it and bring it to me and giving to me. What a kind of generosity. And whenever after the meal, she keep the hand up there, from the dining hall to her room, throughout she is sharing merits. What a luck. Unknown people, growing paddy, bringing to this mountain. These cooks are cooking and giving it to me hot. And even at home I won't get that kind of, what a kind of thing. And they go there and sit 6 hours. And one day she wanted to write to her daughter, telling, daughter, don't worry, I won't come back. But she don't know how to write letters. So she asked yet another yogini, doer, please come here and write few words for my daughter. And she saw, while they are bending into the desk, her breast is having a knot. And she has the medical understanding, Amma, what is happened? What is it to your breast? It is not necessary. You write to my daughter, not necessary to come back, I'll be here. And when it is touching, it's a cancer. And the lady, the other lady told, Amma, that you are meditating is good and full of appreciation. Never mind, this is a cancer. Never mind, this is my noble friend, and it is the one teaching me the truth of suffering. If he goes first, never mind. If I goes first, never mind. If both of us are going to simultaneously, no problem. And ultimately went to the hospital. And I also went there. Godin also there. So he says, Bodhisattva is coming and treating us. For what? For what? What a kind of person? And Godin now she is seriously sick. Cancer has gone everywhere. She can't get up. And she started worshipping the Buddha and kind of thing. Godin has asked, Amma, how do you feel? What to feel? Inside it is just empty. Okay. And how do you feel the outside? Yes, outside also empty. What else? Never feel any tension. Then the Godwin used to say, if at all I am expecting any enlightened being on the earth, this is the best example. No one can make her worries. Even cancer. Soon after I come with him, so before I come for the ordination, I paid a visit and she can't get up. She is lying. And immediately daughter went there and told, so and so came. She came with so much of vigor and sit down. Yet another person told, this guy is going to become a monk. Where? Nissarana. Where is the section of the side of the Nissarana? That side must get my respect. May the prostration to the side of the Nissarana lie. And daughter came and told, Amma, it is no good for you to come and sit. Never mind. They are the Bodhisattvas. Before the death, I am with them. 2 weeks' time, she passed away. But if you consider this as a devastation on bursting of your balloon, of course, depressing visions, depressing sounds, smells, anything can happen. Because our mind, the rational mind, never happy this liberation. But the liberation is just under your nose. Only you can't see, this is all the blockage. You wish not, you hate it. That is what you call fear of freedom. So therefore you have to love this depressing side. Finished. You have to understand this is the best omen. It is daily coming after the final remark or the full stop. This is your messenger. It is doing a message. So you accept it. What is wrong with that depressing sight?
It brings kind of sadness or...
No, never. The external thing can't create any sadness. You look at with the sad mind, then it is sad. Never. Therefore, anything can happen. Imagine the appearance of the Buddha or the end of the clan of Sakyans. Whole clan finished. the lineage finished. So therefore, Sakyans may say it's a devastation for our clan, the appearance of the Buddha. From the worldly point of view. But we Buddhists, we think if we to think from the point of view of the clan, he never renunciated. The first day, the wife parturated, the prince, he renunciated. Present day, if it happens, Yasodhara definitely will go to the Human Rights Commission. Sure. What a nonsense that this particular person is the father, and when the childbirth, and then 6 years' time, he is taken to the monastery and made a monk. And the Nanda, just before the marriage, just before entering into the house, and just becoming the announcement of the crown prince, the Buddha pulled him and put into the monastery. Look from the Suddhodana's point of view. He went and asked, please, you have done enough. In future, don't ordain children without the consent of the parents. Oh, yes, today onward, by the time finished, everything finished. Today on, so now we are to ordain this kind of fellows, and to ask his wife, his parents, because he has done proceedings, so we have to follow the suit. So when and where such a thing happen, from the auspicious point of view of the normal convention, not auspicious, it is appear like a kind of a devastation. So therefore the Buddha has been blackguarded and find fault with number of terms telling, you have no any taste in this world. You are a finishing of the clans, and you are destructive. And Buddha says, yes, I feel that you are telling is correct. I am finishing defilements and destructor of the defilements. So I would say that retreat is very successful. All the points of view. Only thing is you have to put up with these depressing sounds, depressing visions. Nothing wrong.
Thank you very much.
I doubt. for the thanks. But I hope by acquaintance it, familiarizing it, one day mind will adjust into. You know when a person going to die with a terminal disease, first and foremost is a reaction. Asking why me? And this denial. And that doctors has to fight a lot. Of course doctors, they do not know sometimes, but they have to train it. And then only after so much of weighing, acceptance happens. And then huge depression comes. So moment you accept it, with the terminal disease, huge depression happens. And that acceptance indicates whether medicines are going to work or not. So still, the normal medical doctors, they don't understand, they don't research upon that. But the patient's impression going through 5 stages. First and foremost, it's a reaction. Why no? Why me? Because I am so generous, I am with so much of precepts and everything. Why me? There are so much of people. Why can't the Mara come and take such people, leaving me aside? I am a virtuous person, I have done so and so. Never accept it. But the death is obvious thing. Not the death, even the disease. Never. It is a partial or full denial. It's a universal character. So this is also a part and parcel of the death. But this is not the single death of the life, but the death of the samsara. Devastation. Okay, we have taken almost 1 hour. There are no other statements or interview, this thing.
Bhante, this is nothing to do with meditation, but I was wondering, when one gets a disease like cancer, do you go for medication and lose your quality of life, or just let the disease take its course?
Meditation and medication.
Yeah.
Both. You must not go to the fanatic telling no meditation, no, how to call that, 7-day adventures. No, Adventist. No meditation. Or complete meditation medication without meditation. There is also one extreme. You have to, but beforehand, one thing is, it is too late to start meditation at that time. You must have already developed meditation, and then the Buddha says, definitely your fruition or flowering of your meditation happen when you end up with, you are met up with terminal disease. There you understand your investment. No, your investment of the sati is such a blissful thing. Such a blissful thing because that is the only thing remaining, substantial. All the other thing you have earned is eroding, finishing. So it remains. It remains. It's so profound. Come and tell, this is the only investment you have done. So, otherwise it's double negative because this is also ruining. You find this is not the best time to start meditation. It's not a good starting time. So, therefore the healthy people must meditate, knowing we are one day going to end up with a terminal disease. So, everyone is everyone is finishing. Galak nang paleti pupurati dirayati malak nang pipeti peti paraveti peti haleti gangak nam galati muhudada galayati walak kanda bari me maranaye hati. Every flower is finishing. Every river is ending up the sea. Every rock is finishing. You can't stop it. But our whole dreaming and our whole projections is really camouflaging and escapism. We have so much of plans. Everything on the sky. You are making the ladders to go to your imaginary palaces, mansions made out of glasses. Every shatter off. So it appears like a curse. But it is not a curse, it's a truth. So knowing that if you be prepared, then only you can see shining colors of the Buddha. The shining nature of the Dhamma. And the people dedicated for that kind of thing, Sangha. And your discipline, at least at the Sila level. So now, I am also reaching now 60, 62. And I am getting so much of colleagues undergoing these mishaps and the terminal diseases, and some people are so happy, they are met up with so much of destructive thing, but no pain, no tension. They say, we never thought we are so advanced in meditation, but little bit of meditation gave so much of confidence under such a threatening situation. Easily you can see through. So I am waiting for an accident. to see how I am going to perform. But I am very precautious. But behind there's an adventurous thing, one is broken and kind of thing. How thing going to happen? We don't know. Don't know. And the 50 is the age you understand your terminal disease. 60 onward, you get so much of news of your colleagues and parents and everything is dropping like anything. But still you can see frothing ages of 20s and 30s and people are talking about these future plans. And when you are in the 70s, 80s, like our Lokwamdru, always talking about the doctors and medicine and attendants and all the kind of thing. Alakkanda very me marane hati.
Bhante, I want to ask, when a person meditates, do they lose feeling of pain? Because through my experience I am asking, once I got chicken pox when I was in my 50s, but I never felt any headache or body pain or fever or anything. the next day there were blisters. And after that, by the time I was diagnosed, I was diabetic. It was chronic, but I never felt any symptoms. And even recently, when the doctors found that I had angina, I had a 99% block in one of the major arteries, but I didn't feel anything. So I just want to know whether when you meditate regularly, do you lose sensitivity to the pain?
If you are reading the book known as The Mind by Richard Stark, they found one girl, at that time 7 years, she has no feelings. A girl, and she is playing with the peer group, and in the swing she has fallen and whole thing is erased off and they have put a plaster. And the doctor says, you have to keep it in the silent place for recovery. But she never. Still go on. If you punish, she has no message. She has no feelings. So it was a very important thing for them to understand. Some people have no feeling. They are not meditators. And I met one person after the bomb blast in the central bank. They have no olfactory faculty gone. Hearing gone. And they live very happily. And two faculties are not working. So therefore it is nothing related with meditation. There are some mishaps. So therefore whenever you are meditating is, you understand relationship, how it is increasing or decreasing kind of thing. You can understand how to articulate it. But if a person born with no feelings, they don't understand the feeling world. They can't talk.
These 3 stages, because everybody says that they feel symptoms. I never felt that, but normally I feel, in the sitting meditation, I feel the pain in the legs and things like that. So I'm just wondering whether there is any connection.
We need to have a formula. We need to have a kind of a solidification. You can't solidify. They are flux. They are changing. Person to person, they were changing. There is no. So therefore, when you are going to write a book, you can't write any technical writing if you are open to the subject. You can write if you have blinkers. If you have limited knowledge, then you can put into writing. Otherwise, not possible. Not possible. Things are so in a flux. But the knowledge means you are putting them under within a range and says this is this subject, that is that subject. So that one of the psychiatrists in Sri Lanka, he started telling the book, once upon a time there were no psychiatrists. So therefore definitely no psychiatric patients. There should have a doctor to create a psychiatric patient or to label a psychiatric patient. Once upon a time there were no psychiatrists. So this world...
Yes, I had cancer 2008, and when I realized it, my daughter rang me and from Sydney said, Dhamma, I'm pregnant, and you want to come because my daughter wasn't well at all, and she also had some problems, but she's pregnant. And then I went to the doctor, and doctor said, yes, Anula, you have a cancer, so we have to do some operation. So then I said, how long will it take for the operation? And he said, I have to think about, because hospital. Then I went to the private hospital, and then she said, you don't have to do operation, big operation, small one, you can do it. I said, no, I want to just get rid of everything. So it's a breast cancer. And the first examination, they got a block out, and then they realized there's a cancer cell. And then the doctor said, Anula, there's a margin, and I have to do another. I said, no, doctor, no pieces, pull it out. And then because I have to go to Sydney to look after my daughter. And the doctor said, no, you don't have to do that. And then I went with Prem, and he asked from Prem also. And then Prem said, if he's like, it's all right. Then doctor did the operation. It's a big operation. And then I had to go to Sydney because I didn't tell them. Only Lalita knew it.
Even you didn't tell me.
And then the younger daughter said, Amma, why don't you come? Aka's not well. And I said, I have a dental problem. And the Rohan uncle is the best person to the dental thing. And I had to do it and come within 2 months. Doctor asked me to rest 3 months. I said, doctor, please allow me to go within 2 months. I can. Then doctor said, okay, Amla, you can go. And then I was there because I had some problems and blood removing things and like that. And then after 2 months I went there and I didn't feel anything. Very quickly it's cured, everything. And then the Cancer Society said, they can't give the pads to wear because it's not well cured inside. I said, okay, I'm not going to wear, please give me. I'm going to Sydney. And then they gave it to me. And I went to Sydney. I didn't tell my daughters. After the big boy born, and then my another daughter, after 4 months, she's pregnant again. And then they were living together. And then I helped them. I went to the supermarket and cooked them, and I looked after both babies. And I was there 1.5 years. I didn't tell them. And then when I want to come back to Dr. Prem, and I said, Akio, Nango, I had this problem. And they were crying. Why didn't you tell us? I said, why? Why should I? Because you were in a very good position, setting baby. So I don't want to disturb that. And I went with them to a meditation center also for 5 days. So the elder daughter pregnant 7 months and the younger one 4 months. It was Taiwan because I couldn't find a Theravadi one. But anyway, meditation. Then I was there 5 days with them. I didn't have any pain, any problem. I don't know why. I did everything, cooking and washing and looked at the 2 babies and so far so good.
So I don't think it is completed due to meditation.
Yeah.
And your temperaments, it's called resilience. Resilience dimension, how frequently you come back to your normal vibration. So these are one of the 6 attribution of the human being. Some take very long time, some take very quickly. So this has kind of a qualification with to be a meditator or to get quick results. So you must have to quick resilience. I don't know how to pronounce resilience. And that means shocks happen. Of course you are shaken. And quickly you come back. And you can't remember so much of things. And again you are ready for the next. So this kind of news, now if you go to my emails, daily I get 1 or 2. And they are reporting me because everyone consider myself as a family member. And the first person, I am the first person of most of the time, but they don't tell, I am a bad person on that. I tell everyone, that person told not to tell anyone. So this is the way I get the metta. This is the way we are sharing because we are human. And ask Vinita to speak. And she will explain. And I got the message, he has been kicked by a car and bedridden. When I came out, 3 ribs gone. And everyone was shaken, but next time I go there, she came with a bowl of paripu to serve me. In Candlebark, I told whether you are a ghost or a living being. Because everyone expects you to die. She never. And last few days ago, Chitra spoke to me, and he has fallen down from the scaffolding. This leg has completely broken, this bone, and the ambulance came and they asked very carefully. He says, I have no pain. They wanted to give anesthesia. This is not necessary. And they were everyone shocked. And when they go there, they told operation is tomorrow, therefore we have to put anesthesia and then put the bones into the proper shape. Oh, never mind, you do it. And next day they drill it and put the plate with the 7 balls, and now he is back. Then he was just talking with me in the Skype for 10 minutes. He says, Bhante, you won't believe the broken leg is collapsing, and everyone was shocked because they have not taken proper precaution in construction work. They can't claim anything, so he told, don't worry about my leg, remove the scaffolding before the people comes. Because otherwise they will find fault. They are doing work in the temple. Nothing.
Because I didn't tell you, Swaminathan sir, because I always knew you don't like to hear other things, you just want to see the Anapanasati.
Even if you told, I don't care.
Yeah.
But the Anula is digging the Harimut Mage nevi. Mage digging the matter Harayin, what a prasthana.
Because I was citing to you those times regarding Anapanasati.
And you are going to the child and everything I do.
Yeah. You are blaming me, unless running...
Yeah, running away, giving everything to the Lalita. But anyway, we were in the same network, in the same family. So that is all. And you can read that you can conquer cancer from the Ian Gawler Foundation in Australia. And he says, what to do with the cancer? He hardly introduced meditation, but the positive thinking. And recently there was an article circulating. It says, once a cancer happens, it takes 7 years whether you treat it or not. After 7 years, you die. And at least that particular person knows 7 years. For a person like me, I don't know, I will die tomorrow. He has to have the assurance at least 7 years. We don't have. One person has got a job in ornamental glasswares and daily paid. And he was very careful. One day he has dropped a very beautiful ornamental thing from the shelf. And when the Chinese master came, he was shocked to see that's the most valuable thing. And this person is daily paid. He has told, now you have to, I have to cut 10% of your salary. You have to work 7 years to pay this. So he has gone home and told, luckily I got assurance for the job for 7 years. Otherwise, your daily paid, you will be kicked off. Now he can't kick it off. So as far as you know the cancer, you make it, I am not dead, I am not unconscious, I am not sleepy. Because cancer is keeping you more than a healthy person. It's making you alive. It's burning. It's torturing. And then it not allow you to sleep. And it's clearly indicate I am not unconscious. You will be happy to be unconscious with morphine and kind of thing, but you are not. So anything is nothing but an object for meditation. Here now I am. Any disturbance, any calamity, any kind of thing, once you put in, you find this dukkha satya, the truth of suffering is everywhere. But we escapism. We do not wish to see.
Help your Dhamma talks, because every night, even at 12 o'clock, after work, all the work, and I listen to one talk, and it gears me.
So therefore I wish everyone to have a breast cancer. May you all be healthy, wealthy and happy, have a breast cancer. No, I think younger people are very concerned about the breast, but when you become old age and what else, only your frame will be worrying about that. Okay, any other comments? Vinita. Talking about the pain.
One of the things you mentioned about
Come close.
My past situation, I like to say a few words, Bhante. Actually, the night I met with the accident, everyone thought I'm finished.
Yeah, this is a message I got.
And then I woke up in the morning and I was going through. And then actually I got the message that you were informed and that you were blessing for me. I also got the message from Venerable Ajahn Kalyana in Warburton. Because I carry dana for him once a month. And my daughter went to the dana that particular month. And he had said, tell your mom to contemplate on Vedanta. And that's what I did one day. It was all the time contemplating on the faith. And I think that helped me to a great extent. And my daughter gave me a lot of courage and push to my life. And as a result, I survived. So it was very hard to go through, but even in the hospital, the nurses stationed were wondering why I was so quiet. They had questioned my daughter, why is your mother so quiet? So she had said, maybe she is meditating. So that's what I want to say, and so I survived.
That is right.
Thanks to meditation.
This is the point you get the, how to call, the threshold, the real test to understand. So it must be life-threatening, not a simple jokes. And then only you will understand the mindfulness connect from this life to the next life. Never deprive you, never betrayal. Any other quality, I have no assurance. And the mindfulness is helping you as the true friend, Kalyana Mitta, specifically when you are cornered to that kind of a situation. So therefore, if you say you don't have time to be mindful and develop mindfulness and to go to meditation, what uncompassionate kind of consideration you have to your own life. And if you have any feeling, any consideration for your dear and near one, it's a first and foremost. Try to contaminate this disease. The disease called mindfulness. It's contagious. It is contagious. When you are living with mindful people, you some or the other you come into this. So therefore, expose them. Even though they are not appreciating and they are not mature enough, that is why these young girls, boys, they are coming from the Dhamma. We ask 50 Dhamma children to come, 200 there, and the youngest was 6 years. Elder was maybe 16, 17, and we had a 4 hours meditation, and no one is talking. I gave a talk, and they had a walking meditation and sitting. And parents and the teachers are talking, telling, children, you may understand, due to you only we are also coming to Nissarana. When we come to the meditation hall, we have never been to this place, even though we are going up and down. So you are very lucky. And then I invited one girl from other place, and she came, she told that, I feel so happy with you people because I am preparing for my advanced level class. I know how much it is helpful for my meditation, but you are still not facing competitive exams, but you will be really, really benefited when you are facing that kind of situation. Then I asked these Dhamma girls, now the external world, the girl came and gave a talk. You people are meditating, not talking. It is not good for your representative for the Dhamma. Then one girl came up and she told, Bhante, we would have walked miles on the sand beds, but when we are walking on the meditation paths, I feel each and every sand, the grain of sand, crispiness. I feel so much happy. I don't know how to talk into a microscope, the mic, but I feel so happy. So then I told, these are the things we need to share. Otherwise you may say that they are too early and too young and all the kind of thing. Never mind. Even they are Muslims, even they are other religion, never mind. The mindfulness is a contagious. So nothing to worry. Openly you can invite. Please come and see. And not only in the feelings, anything. Any problem you have, it is really giving the touch on the particular problem. Whatever the way you are divine. So therefore, irrespective of anything, can just invite, come and see. And for my life, I see, not a simple complication happen as far as I am prescribing mindfulness. If I am prescribed yet another mental factor, I would have gone mad. I can see what happens to other meditation masters, how much entanglement they get, how much problem they are facing with. But this is day by day become very straightforward, very short to the point. I never feel any friction. So you people also get certain about acquaintance, so it's a duty to pass the baton to the other lap. Otherwise, we are in debt. Because we somehow or the other got a little bit of crossing, little bit of transmission. So best thing is, all the time be mindful, then it is be a silent sermon. Everyone will understand without much of good sermons and understanding of the text. Take it as a prime task. And it is good that today is the final day in the common interviews. Anything, any other comment or any other 1.5 hours we have taken. So, we are going to sum up today's common interview session with this remark. Thank you very much for the participation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.